We're doing some FA Cup predictions in an era where the FA Cup matters less and less to the Big Six. This season, the FA Cup could be one of the most special FA Cups in recent history. You look at the winners of the FA Cup that aren't in the Big Six. Even Spurs have won it once in 30 years. You go back to Wigan, Portsmouth, Everton in 1995, Wimbledon in 1988, and Coventry in 1987. Those guys are all the different kind of winners. Since then, it's basically been Man United, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool to win the FA Cup. Since then, we're talking about 35, 40 years of domination from the Big Six. And now we look at the quarterfinals of the FA Cup in 2025, and 90% of the sides are all getting potentially to their first final in decades, maybe ever, with only one previous holder in the last 5 to 10 years being Manchester City still in the competition. So that means the FA Cup is as dramatic, as cinematic, and as meaningful for a range of clubs that haven't achieved anything in this competition for such a long time. It makes it so special, and I'm so gassed. For obvious reasons, Man City are also still in the competition. It's incredible. 1957, the last time Villa won the FA Cup. Preston North End, the last side that aren't in the Premier League to be in the FA Cup. 1938. Forest, 1959. Bournemouth have never been in the final. Brighton have lost a final before. Palace have been in 2 finals and lost. Same with Fulham as well in 1975. So this could be a very, very special FA Cup. We're going to give some predictions. Leave yours down below. Bournemouth versus Man City is very, very juicy. I'll be real. Bournemouth absolutely battered Man City in this fixture in the Premier League. Must have been 4 months ago. Carl Walker right back. Phil Foden getting bullied at points by Kekes at left back, who got 2 assists in the game, was absolutely electric. Guardiola, in and around that game, said that Bournemouth are playing the future of football. What a ringing endorsement for Iraola, who's been linked to some big clubs in the summer, including Real Madrid. Let's just talk about Phil Foden. You're seeing a lot on the overlap about Phil Foden's place in the England side. If he's good enough to be playing century for England, does he deserve it? And as a City fan, I have to say, this competition brings Phil Foden a big opportunity to put his foot down, to have a big performance against Bournemouth, to dominate the game, to score a big goal, and get City back to winning an FA Cup, which I think City, being such strong favourites, should at least be looking to get to the semis, the final in this competition. I think the criticism of Phil Foden is outrageous. This is a guy that was PFA Player of the Year last year, part of a side that won 4 Premier League titles in a row. He's got a better England career than Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, dare I say it, David Beckham. Less noticeable moments, but part of a squad that have been to 2 back-to-back finals for the first time ever. England have never done that before. Phil Foden hasn't been the most important part of that, but he's been a part of it. He started a lot of football in 2024 in the Euros, in the previous Euros as well at Wembley. In England in 2021, he was part of that squad as well. So we're so quick to slag off Phil Foden. I think it's outrageous. I don't think it's worked for him under Southgate or even Tuchel in the 2 games. But this game against Bournemouth is a big opportunity for him. There's a lot of criticism about him. I think it's completely unjustified. Bournemouth, I mean, they're facing a completely different Man City side. I look at Omar Mamouche. This guy's come in. He's been absolutely electric. The goal against Brighton was everything you want from that kind of player. This explosive guy that can strike the ball from 25 yards out. It's something that Phil Foden was doing a lot last season. I think Marmoush could be the difference maker against Bournemouth. Bournemouth's record in the last 5 weeks has actually been a little bit flat. They're lingering now towards mid-table. It says so much about how you can be so good in the Premier League. Bournemouth have been exceptional in December and January time. We're pulling up trees. And then they go a little bit flat and suddenly they're 10th. It's crazy because Bournemouth have been stellar this season. I look at Semenyo Evanilson, who scored against Man City in December. These guys are absolutely exceptional footballers. It's going to be very, very tight. It could even go to penalties. But you have to back Man City in this game. Surely Man City beat Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Surely. Let's talk about Fulham versus Palace. This is the most even game in the history of football, surely. I mean, Fulham versus Palace, there's nothing in it. I think the only thing I could say is that Palace might enjoy the fact that Fulham's home form isn't the best in the world. I think Fulham enjoy being a counter-attacking side away from home. The result against Manchester United might not have happened at Craven Cottage because I think Man United would have enjoyed being the counter-attacking side in Fulham's home ground. I think Palace has got the edge. I think there's an emotional factor here. The last round, obviously, against Millwall, tough London derby, Mateta's head nearly gets blown off. He's back for this game. It's a big, big moment for Palace. I think Palace want this more. I think they've got a little bit of a run in form. I look at someone like Eze, who was absolutely fantastic for England, scored his first goal for England as well. They just have a little bit more of that star factor. It's about 5% difference. I mean, Fulham have been incredible this season. But I think Palace, away from home, they can be a little bit tighter at the back, hit them on the counter-attack. I think Fulham will lose this game. Could even go to penalties as well. It could be very, very tight. And you've got to think, if you're playing, all these sides that are playing, I know a couple of the games are on Saturday and Man City are playing last, but they'll all be thinking, if Bournemouth can get a result for us, I mean, they'll all be in a pot with Preston and Villa, whoever wins that game, Brighton, Forest, all these sides will be thinking that their next game, it could take them to the final, because if Man City get knocked out against Bournemouth. So they'll all be playing that with the back of their heads. It's not like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool are still in the competition. Like, these games matter even more because Man City are the only big side left in the competition. So Fulham, Palace, and all these other sides that I'm going to predict could be even juicier because there's more to play for. I think Palace are going to win that game. It could go to penalties as well. So far, Palace and Man City left in the FA Cup. Brighton versus Forest. This is a juicy game. They've never met in the FA Cup before. Brighton obviously never won the FA Cup. Forest, we're talking 75 years since they last won the FA Cup. For a big club like that is absolutely huge. It's a difficult one for Forest. You could argue Man City need to win this competition more than Forest. It sounds crazy. But Forest need to focus on getting into the Champions League. I think that is that sets them up in a whole different kind of way. I mean, I'm always going to rate the FA Cup. I think if they win the FA Cup with Nuno, it'd be an incredible story. But ironically, I think City need this because City have to have some sort of silverware, the amount of money going into the squad, what happened last season, the season before, losing to Manchester United in the FA Cup. City to retain the FA Cup would be brilliant, but Forest don't have to have the same pressure. I think Chris Wood getting injured is a big concern. He's not going to feature in this game, I can guarantee it, and he'll be fit, hopefully, for Forest fans against Manchester United in the league. That's where Brighton could take advantage. I think Brighton will be looking to get back at the 7-0 loss to Forest earlier in the season. And I think Brighton got to semi-finals against Manchester United a couple of years ago. They'll be looking to get to the final and have a go in the final. And this hurts the side, could do damage to anyone in the final at Wembley. Big pitch, ball-playing side. I think Brighton will beat Forest, but it's going to be a very tight game. Preston North End, final game, versus Aston Villa. Again, Villa, they got the Champions League. That's more important than the FA Cup. And Villa haven't won this competition in so long, 1957. It'd be a great season for Unai Emery to say he's the first winner of an FA Cup for Villa in that much time. Again, about 80-odd years. It's incredible, really. I think Preston could really make Villa struggle and toil. They play a tough back five. They don't concede many goals. They're a solid championship side, mid-table consistently. I'm just going to say Preston. I think Preston are going to win the game. They're not favourites, but there has to be an upset somewhere along the line. I think Preston, Brighton, City, and Palace will get into the next round of the FA Cup. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very, very soon.